guys, welcome to another New Legacy podcast. I have right here with me, Ray Cashcare and Matt Schneider. Special guest for today, and we're going to learn a little bit about these two amazing gentlemen and their projects that they're going on right now in the U.S. And you guys are taking it nationwide, so it's going to be crazy.
Going global. We're going to go global.
Oh,
we're going to go global. Give us time. Give us time.
Mm-hmm. So, Ray, tell us a little bit about yourself, your story, where you come from, and your background.
Yeah, Baltimore native here in Balto, 51 and a half years young. Grew up with a lot of violence and a lot of discontent in my life. And, you know, kind of the Jerry Springer show, I decided to change my life around, flip the script. You know, everybody talks about flipping the switch on. Fuck it, man. I flipped that shit on at 17 and just left it on. And, you know, SEAL teams, CIA, started doing some business in the entrepreneurial world. Met up with this cat about, 4 years ago. We connected, and we just we work on that same ultra high frequency. And now we're just taking it to a new level. We're doing coaching. I was saying couples community, but now it's just a community of expanders, like-minded individuals, motherfuckerettes that want to be better. We're doing the coaching, we're doing that, and then we're doing our corporate training, which we'll talk about a little bit, the Q course. And we're just taking the world by storm, and I'm not apologizing for it. So that's who I am, and that's who we are, and let's do it.
Yeah, like just for context, like you guys are about to do that Q course right after this podcast.
Yeah,
right from here.
You guys are, and I see you guys on Instagram, and also I follow you guys too. Like, you know, we're personally friends. I see you guys running around the country like back to back, doing projects left and right, and courses like these. And I'm like, wow.
Dude, I'm on the road. We're on the road so much. If I had a sleigh, I'd be Santa. I mean, but we're grinding. I mean, we're like, you know, Matt's so busy because, you know, he's an 8-figure coach, and, you know, we're trying to balance this, being fathers, being husbands, running multiple businesses, you know, and there's 24 hours in a day, and we're using a lot of it for growth. So a lot of lack of sleep, but definitely impact of power, which we're doing, right? I mean, Matt's 100%. Quiet right now, and I like it, but because usually he's the intellectual one. But yeah, man, we are turning and burning, and you can't let your foot off the gas. You know that we're hot right now. We're going to continue to stay hot, and we're expanding, and that's what it's about.
Matt, a little bit about yourself, your story, where you come from, and your background in business and entrepreneurship space.
Yeah, man. So first and foremost, husband, married 17 years, just over 17. Very proud of that because of my background and the cycle I broke. Father of an incredible 14-year-old son. In what seems like a previous life was in law enforcement. Spent 5 years on SWAT, a couple years with the U.S. Marshals team, a year and a half as an undercover narc, which it's fun because I actually get to tell people that I've made methamphetamine twice.
He sold me drugs and then locked me up. No, I'm kidding. That's how we met.
It's that 1-2 punch. Yeah, I've made meth twice under the supervision of the DEA, and so that was cool. But became an entrepreneur in 2013 after a couple of hard years of just learning the ropes of what it means to be an entrepreneur. Started figuring it out and started getting to a point to where we realized that success leaves clues, and if you're willing to follow them, you're willing to surround yourself around other really cool, really aggressively unapologetic, expanded-minded individuals, that you can really get in the driver's seat in your own life, take the world by storm, and have just an absolute kick-ass time doing that. My wife and I, we own 5 different companies. That doesn't even include this, you know, I don't even know this, what we would classify what we're doing.
Venture, something like that.
Yeah, right? it you know, this Q course and the coaching and the stuff is just, it's a super cool thing. But yeah, we're 8-figure entrepreneurs. We've got one company that we have ownership in. Is a software company. We target valuation of over $100 million. Really hoping to have an acquisition within the next 12 to 18 months with it. And yeah, man, we're all about impact. We're all about helping people improve their circumstances, their lives, elevating in their health, wealth, and relationships. And to be honest with you, dude, there's an element of this that's kind of selfish too, because getting into the same rooms with other people that are that are also expanded minded and people looking to grow and achieve. Those people help me, help my wife, help my son grow and achieve. And so we're on this wacky journey together and just having a kick-ass time doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are just back-to-back tag teaming. You guys have really good synergy together. I realized, like, this morning we worked out at the gym together.
Yeah.
I saw how you guys were, like, yin-yanging, like, each other. I'm like, wow.
My back is killing me. I've been carrying this guy since the day I met him.
Well, we could talk about how your front would also be killing you if I was allowing you to do the squat. the squat support. Like
we do have good synergy and energy, and we have fun. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You know, we bring two separate sides of the house to the equation. You know, I'm focused on the mindset and the emotional, and what I bring into it. The battlefields that I've learned in life, and then Matt, comes in and takes all the credit with the business, teaching people how to make fucking money. I'm kind of like the janitor, I do all the dirty work. I make it.
I've never seen such a popular janitor. People
I know.
you.
Ray, it's like,
but you need
a
one.
big deal.
You need one to have the other. That's what I've noticed. So the coaching is new. I used to coach for a while, and I didn't like it because I was missing a piece. And the one thing that I've learned is when you start coaching people, like Matt coaches business. I mean, it's pretty simple. He's my coach. Listen to him, do the formulas, and use his system, and it fucking works. But I teach like lifestyle coaching, and what I've realized, and I'm sure you can add to this too, is people want unrealistic expectations and unrealistic time. And no matter what I do, I mean, I could be Moses and part the Red Sea, but like if I have a client that's 300 pounds, and they're like, listen, I want to lose 100 pounds in a week, and I want to be a millionaire, I'm like, that's just not going to happen. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to individuals. So the one thing that, Matt and I have done is we forged this alliance. And the one thing I told him is like, listen, I know, making money is easy if you know how to do it. But this takes a lot of fucking time. So I told Matt, listen, let's do this journey, but I need, a minimum of 3 or 6 months to do this. Because, you work with Matt, he teaches you how to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in a month. Great. That's great, but mindset, believing in yourself, that shit takes time. So, we've launched an amazing relationship, and, and it's great because I coach on my side. We have what we call overlapping fields of fire, but I stay in my lane and he stays in his lane, which is hard in this business because when you get partners, and we've had some fucking partners before that just
weren't partners.
Yeah, weren't partners. They just want to be, micromanage and narcissist and do this and do that. I have my things, he has his things, but we seem to just keep coming back together. So I said, man, let's make this work. So Q course took off. We're crushing it. We were just in Boise doing one of your masterminds with some very powerful people. And man, I'm not going to apologize for the new me, the new and improved me. And I'm not going to look back. I mean, I look back to see where I was, but I'm looking forward to see where I'm going. And future's bright. Future's bright.
Yeah. What drives you to be so high frequency, and like how are you so driven compared to like everyday people, right? Like,
so
what
is
makes
this
you different?
me?
Yeah.
Me. So I think my biggest fear is just a fear of being average. I try to live my life like every day. Like we got up, we ate, we trained together. We're doing this, then we're gonna go fucking rock the house with about 100 people. It's a smaller audience for us, but the intimate ones are good. But like if I die, like tonight, like did I leave an impact? Did I leave a mark? Was I the best version of me? So my fear of just being average, like that outweighs everything with me. And I mean, I don't know if that's the ego from being a Navy SEAL. I think it's more just the humbleness of coming from nowhere. And then when you start to get a taste, because man, I'll tell you what, entrepreneur world is scary as fuck. Yeah. You don't know who the enemy is. Everybody acts like they're your friend and they're out to get you. But when you really start, stacking up some money and making a better life for you and your family, it's rewarding as fuck, and that motivates me. That drives me. And I know the one thing that what I love about Matt, and I'm going to let Matt take it here because I talk too fucking much, is, you got to practice what you preach, right? You got to, he's a great dad, great father, smart with money, I wish I had his money. I'm coming for it.
You're on your way, dude.
But the part I like about it is the physical, mental, and emotional, right? Guys in shape. I've said this before. When I first met Matt, he wasn't in shape. He wasn't out of shape, but he didn't look like this. You make those 8 figures, you got to have that 8-figure body, mind, and soul. And I say it and I say it again, man, like your resume, the biggest resume you can have is you, your body. So, I'm 51, Matt's in his 40s. I don't want to work with people that are out of shape. I don't. I want to work with motherfuckers that have got discipline. I honestly feel that fitness, your body, is the rawest, purest form of discipline you can have. And I'm not talking about, because I know there's going to be people on here, well, I've got this. I'm not talking about diabetes and fucking, health issues. I'm talking about the individual that's getting up every day and being the best version of themselves. Even if you're 30 pounds overweight, but your ass is at the gym every day, that's a solid resume for me. And that's the kind of people that I want to work with. And that's why, and I didn't just get to work with Matt. I had to prove myself. I've been proving myself since fucking day one. So this is nothing new, but a lot of good things are happening and a lot of good things are coming. So I'm excited.
All right, Matt. So, you work with Ray, you're partnered with Ray. He's super high frequency, super fast going, like literally maneuvering and like flexible with time and all that discipline and stuff. How do you keep up with Ray?
That's tough. That's tough to do. This man, I heard one of Ray's great friends, Rob O'Neill, the dude that smoked Osama bin Laden once, was asked.
Thrice, shot him 3 times. No, who's counting?
In the face. He was asked, like somebody in an audience of this really cool event that we were part of said, tell us a little bit about Ray. And Rob said, he's got no quit in him. Yeah. He's got no quit. And man, in such few words, that really spells out a lot about Ray. It leaves out all the charismatic traits of him and the fact that he's hung like a mule. But,
Make sure we don't cut that shit.
No, leave that one in there. That part's got to stay.
Put the Elliot picture right there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, cut into the
what I'm talking about, Mr. Elliot.
Ray is my kind of guy. You asked a question about, why we operate at such a high level and high frequency. And I'll tell you, Ray and I, we come from backgrounds where we had to deal with a lot of death. A lot of people that woke up one morning and had no idea that day was going to be their last, right? And sometimes it was due to their own hands. Sometimes it had to do with them making decisions that required me or Ray or our team to have to do something to intervene. And so you develop this impermanence of life, like this real understanding of impermanence of life. And that sends a message deep within your psyche that you've got to live with urgency. You've got to live with intentionality. And tomorrow is not guaranteed. It is really one of those things where you got to look at today as a gift. And I've got big, audacious goals, man. I've got some big goals. People ask, what do you want to achieve? And everybody's answer is different. Like what people want in life are different. I want a couple of things. And what I want,
you ought to see that new house that motherfucker's getting.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I'll say it. You ought to see the house.
It's pretty badass. I want $1 million a month in revenue. I want $1 million a month. My number is going to be different than other people's number, but that's
I want 300 of it.
300.
That's I want 300 of that.
300,000. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another business that Ray and I are partnering up with. But I want that, and then I want this to be answered as well. Now, this is a big, audacious goal, but I'm not afraid of setting them. People will sometimes ask a question. I was actually asked this question on a podcast once: is if you were to have 5 people at your table, dead or alive, who would they be? And I was kind of caught off guard by it because I wasn't prepared, which was what made the conversation fun in the moment and in the podcast. But I said, The Rock, Kevin Hart, those two together are just absolutely hilarious. Mother Teresa, because I always wanted to know what it would be like to have a life completely dedicated to service of others, and and just to hear from her on that. Martin Luther King Jr., because of taking a stand in something so controversial with this. Understanding that assassination was like almost certain, right? And like what that would be like. And then Candace Owens, because she's just kind of a badass, right? So those are the 5 that came to mind when I was asked that question. But, you know, I found myself thinking after that, what would it take to be named when somebody were to be asked? If somebody somewhere else were to be asked, name 5 people dead or alive, what would it take to have my name be listed, right? And that you have to have massive impact on people's lives, positive impact. If you want to sit at people's tables and them to want to learn from you and spend time with you, think about what that means. So I don't have an answer for what needs to get achieved per se. Like there's no like if-thens. I just know that I have to spend the time that I have, which is very limited, doing the biggest things possible with the coolest people possible. People who think big, they dream big, they do big, they achieve big. And that is the pathway in which I will be able to help as many people as possible, making as much money as possible so I can help more people and have more experiences along the way. And, you know, and if I do it right and I'm given enough time, then just maybe my name might come up when someone is asked, who would you have at your dinner table?
Your name would have came up on my dinner table, motherfucker, if you would have said my name, but now it isn't. Because I would have said you. But fuck you, it's not coming up now, man. So, yeah.
That's fair.
What a dick.
That's fair.
I
I get to sit and have dinner with you all the time.
Whatever. This relationship's over. This podcast is over. You were supposed to say fucking 4 or 5 of me.
Of the 5 people, 4 of them is Ray.
All right, Ray. So right now, there's currently a lot of crisis in the world.
Yeah.
Also, people are having like really bad mental issues in terms of dealing with all the stresses in the modern world.
Yep.
What is one thing that you can give them right now that they could take away, that they can use and apply in their life to help them move forward, whether they're in a hardship right now or currently fighting through something?
You know, that's a great question. What I try to do is I try to reverse engineer everything, right? So everybody looks at the bad, I try to look at the good. So you're alive. That's a fucking positive, right? That's a positive. If you have health, if you're able to be mobile and move, that's a fucking positive. Too many people in this country, they don't bet on themselves. They're waiting and they're waiting and wanting instead of making and taking action. So, you know, I have the shirt, man has the shirt. If you don't, you're going to get the shirt. Bet on yourself. Take chance, take risk, believe in yourself. Because this is what I honestly believe. Each and every one of you or us were put on this earth for a fucking reason. If you go all the way back to the day where mom and dad were having conception or sperm donor or whoever it was, however you were made, you won that day, that moment. Hundreds of millions of sperm were released, and for some reason, you won. Higher power, God, someone, something said you were put on this earth for something. And it's your fucking goal, your fucking purpose to figure out what that is. You know, people ask me all the time, was being a Navy SEAL the biggest, I guess, accomplishment of your life? At the time it was. But I can't honestly say that with having this guy beside me and having you beside me, because I have another day to dream, to achieve, to accomplish. So no, as of right now, my biggest accomplishments in my life are my wife and my 2 kids. And then after that, it's my health. But I am still growing, I'm still expanding, and that's what you need to do, right? And I'm not here to motivate anybody, right? Tim Grover, one of my very good friends and mentor, friend of ours, I'm here to elevate you, put you on another level. Too many people in this country are walking around on the wrong fucking frequency. There's ultra low, low, high, and ultra high. What you need to do is, number 1, you need to turn up that dial, right? Everybody talks about flipping the switch. Flip that switch up and mentally put a piece of tape on it. Use it when it needs to be applied. I use anger, rage, and fear for fuel. Everybody else runs from that shit. If you're not where you want to be, look in the mirror and blame yourself. Don't blame your past, because Matt and I, statistically, we should be in jail or dead, and we're not. Fucking look at Wes. Wes is another one. Wes Watson, that's another one. You have the control and the power to be the author and narrate your story. You can be a horror story, or you can be a fucking happily ever after. And that's what I'm going to be. I have finally, and all I do and what I tell people with motivation, it's simple as this. 3 things: prioritize, strategize, and monetize. Prioritize what's the most important thing or things in your life, right? Strategize. How am I going to do that? And then last is monetize it. Monetize and, hey, listen, I'm sitting here with this guy. It's all about the money, but it's about creating growth, right? How can you create physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, and financial growth? And listen, you don't have to believe in a higher power. Spiritual is believing in yourself, but it all starts there. You are not going to achieve or accomplish anything if you don't look in the mirror and tell yourself that you believe in yourself. I don't give a shit if you're fat, get in shape. If you've got one leg, hop. If you can't see, smell. There's always a way to be better than you are. And every day, right? I'm not going to be the best version of me. I'll never know what that day is until I die and I can go back and reflect on it. Right now, it's the day that my kids were born, the day I married my wife. Other than that, everything else is just a blessing.
Man, it's powerful. Matt, it's your turn, brother.
Top that, motherfucker.
Your turn, brother. Come on.
What was the question? I got lost in the whole
Just like, with everything that's going on
Mesmerized
right
me.
now, with everything that's going on right now in the world, all the crisis, all the mental health issues, it seems like right now more and more people are dealing with mental health issues, and a lot of it's just motivation. Getting up in the day, actually taking care of business. Like, what advice would you have, just like, for your younger self?
Yeah.
Like, I want you to like punish that younger self.
Yeah.
With some heat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Cool.
And you could yell at your younger self, and that's totally okay.
You motherfucker.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think my younger self needs that.
Oh, dude.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Right? I mean.
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah. I think we all go back in time. We would be different. But, look, I think what a lot of people are missing are a couple of things. First of all, seeing that they have the full potential, understanding that they must get into the driver's seat of their own life, and just having goals, having big, audacious goals. There's a lot of people out there who are just floating and they're just drifting and they're just living one day at a time. And it's super simple to find yourself lacking any kind of joy or fulfillment when there's nothing you're really working towards, you're not really progressing towards. And if you are evaluating your past self, and a metric that I use is just 6 months, like look back 6 months. If you are not a different person than you were 6 months ago for the better, you are doing something wrong. You absolutely should be a better person in your health, in your wealth, and in your relationships. And if you're not, evaluate what it is that you are not taking control of, what you are not setting goals for, and start implementing things that are going to progress you in the right direction. You have the ability to define your past based on the way that you look at it. And for those that are in a place where they're suffering from mental health, and I've had peaks and valleys throughout life, and it's not always sunshine and rainbows for high achievers. In fact, I would argue that the peaks are higher and the valleys are lower for those that constantly are chasing better, and we refuse to settle. But you must live a life where you are being intentional and you're doing it with urgency. And shame on you if you are a husband or a father, if you're a mother or a wife, and you don't have big, audacious goals, because you are leaving a massive amount of potential on the table, a massive amount of impact on other people's lives that you can be having on the table, and you're neutering the opportunity to experience greatness in life. So for those that are suffering from mental illness, I get it that there's, elements of chemical imbalance, but I also think that in the overwhelming majority of the cases, it's because of weakness. It's because of people leaning into vices that are altering their mental state. They're not eating right, which is changing the chemical makeup of their gut and their brain. They don't set big, audacious goals. They're unwilling to work and do the work that it takes to achieve those goals. That's all bullshit in my mind. And I will say that as a husband and a father, I refuse to take my foot off the gas pedal and give my wife and my son and our future anything less than the absolute fullest opportunity based on the work that's required by sitting in the driver's seat of our own lives, by setting big, audacious goals, not expecting anybody to do the work for us, and being partners with my wife in setting those goals and achieving those goals and stopping at nothing until they're achieved.
Yeah. And I want to add something to that too, because Matt, just these nuggets of knowledge that he gives is, you're obviously we've worked in a very chaotic lifestyle and trauma and turmoil and death. And, you're looking at a guy that I got hooked on Oxycontin years ago. Not many people know that. Fuck it, let them know. And it was so easy. It was so easy to just pop a pill and not feel, not care, not want. And then, finally you have to have this moment of clarity, coming to Jesus, whatever the fuck it is. When you look in that mirror, I call it our self-reflection drill we do. When I looked in that mirror, I didn't like what I saw. And this is what I beg each and every one of you to look in the mirror. If you don't like what you see, you have the power to change that. I dumped the pills. Did I struggle? Fuck yeah. Did I want to pop them every now and then? Yeah. Did I once in a blue moon? Yeah. But you have to see the big picture, and I tell, we coach, and first thing I tell people is you need to give me a designated time, estimated time that you can train. I need time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, give me something. Number two, I think I got to tell everybody, this is how the whole Q course came about. I'm going to tell them. Navy SEAL, I have no quit in me. No fucking quit in me. But I'm the biggest fucking quitter you ever meet in your life. And I said that to Matt, and he was like, what the fuck? I have quit all the vices, 90% of the vices. I quit the drugs. It's rare that you'll see me, like me and Matt will go out, if I have a drink, it's one drink. It's in moderation. I don't drink to get drunk anymore. I don't need to have false feelings. I don't need something to make me happy. I don't need something to make me numb anymore. I'm complete. So I quit all the bullshit, the porn, the drugs, the drinking, the womanizing. Fuck. I quit all that shit. And then when you do that, you're the best version of you that you can be. And then that's when you hire coaches to help you get there. I help you with the vices and killing the inner bitch. That's the voice. Because as a man and a woman, we have, I don't mean that you're a woman. I don't know, just sorry. As a man and a woman, you have that inner voice, which is that inner bitch that tries to talk you out of things, the self-doubt and self-sabotage. If you tell me you didn't get to where you are today without doubting yourself. If you did, you're full of shit. I'll tell you that right to your face. Wes, don't tell me you didn't ever doubt yourself. He doesn't now. Don't tell me you didn't ever doubt yourself. But what I have done is I've done that. I've learned how to kill 90% of that. But then we have demons. We have a past. If bad shit happened to you, right? Number one, you're not alone. Number two, you can't kill it. You can't outrun it. You can't outlift it. You can't outdrink it. You can't out fucking take a pill with it. But what you can do, and fucking listen to me, I'm shaking, is you can name, claim, and tame that motherfucker. You can learn how to control it, right? It's a sleeping fucking monster. The dragon and the bear, which Matt can talk about. And what you need to do is know how not to fucking poke it, avoid it. And when you do that, that gives you more time to be the best version of you. And that's why we, I think, came up with this Q course. We said this, Matt had like fucking 100 of his members on this amazing meeting we were doing. He asked me to be a guest speaker. And it wasn't scripted. And I said, I'm the biggest fucking quitter you ever met. I said this at an event up in Maryland with like 1,000 people, and you could hear a pin drop. But let me explain. Let me explain what I've quit. Because too many people quit the wrong shit. Too many of you quit the wrong shit. You quit on yourselves. You quit on your spouses. You quit on your fucking family. When you should be quitting the bullshit that you're doing, that you're using to take control, like take control of you with that, right? People, when shit hits the fan, they find the easy route. Listen, don't quit on your fucking self. Divorce rates are what now, Matt? Over 50%? It's ridiculous. He's been married for 17 years. I've been married 18. I've been with my wife for 20 years. Is it hard? Fuck yeah. Look at the long game, right? Don't be a statistic. Don't be a victim, be a victor. So I wanted to make sure you guys hear that. And I mean, I'm saying that with all sincerity because Matt struggled too. I mean, we've talked, he has a horrible childhood too. Don't let your past dictate who you are and what your future is going to be.
I love it. So, Matt, like Ray just dropped some major heat, and I saw the look in your eyes. I was like, okay, he got something to say too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, drop a little bit. I know what you got.
Yeah, man. So, Jocko talks about how discipline is freedom, and to a large extent, that is true. But before people can exercise discipline, they actually have to know what the hell to do. There was a point where I was so lost, and in 2014, 2015 timeframe, as a young entrepreneur, I didn't know how to get myself out of the place I was in, where the business was in trouble, our finances were shit, my relationship with my wife was swirling the toilet bowl, and I'm thinking in my mind what it's going to be like to share custody of our son. I didn't know how to get myself out of that place. And so there was no amount of discipline at that point that would have helped provide the freedom to me. Part of what was missing was mentorship. It were people that understood where I was at and also understood how to get me out of it. What also was missing was me asking the question. There was too much ego and pride at that time, and I'll tell you that ego will kill more things in your life than almost anything else. It will kill opportunity, it will kill relationships, it will kill deals, it'll kill your finances. Your ego will get in the way and kill just about anything, and that is one thing that must go. And once I was willing to let go of that and start asking the questions of others who were willing to help me, they just needed me to be in a place where I was willing to be helped, everything began to change. And that is when they started to educate me on where I was at and what it was going to take that I had to do, that nobody else could do for me, so that then I could be disciplined. And that is one thing where I cannot emphasize enough the power of proximity. I started to hang around other people that were bigger thinkers, bigger dreamers, bigger doers, and achievers. And what I thought was possible just exploded. It rocketed into an entirely different hemisphere. What I thought was time freedom, what I thought was money freedom, what I thought impact was, what I thought influence was, what I thought it meant to be a man and a husband and a father, it all just exploded in the best possible ways by hanging around other people like Ray and others that I started to pull into my network and earning my seat at their table. And I started to think, wow, this is what it means to be a successful entrepreneur. This is what it means to be a successful husband and a father and a coach. And I just started doing the thing. And that is where discipline really started to play a role. There are multiple different things that need to be in place if you want to have time freedom and money freedom, which is something I've found that everybody really is seeking for, right? What they're going to do with that money is different. What you want to do with your time is different. But if you have time and money, you're able to live a life of far more experience and far more fulfillment in ways that fill your cup. And I'll tell you this, be polarizing. If there's one thing that has served me very, very well along the way, from going from being broke as a joke to an 8-figure entrepreneur and being able to help a lot of people now that I could never have helped before, it is this embracing of polarization. Just like a magnet, on one side of it, I pushed out the people, the places, the things, the habits, the traits that were not serving me, not for serving my family, and pushing completely outside of the horizon. And on the flip side, I started to pull in people. I started to pull in the people, the places, the things, the habits that were serving me and my goals and my dreams and aspirations. And that has made a tremendous difference in being able to actually achieve. Ray talks about doubt, and you brought up, this element of doubt. I have doubt all the time. There are times where this imposter syndrome will start to creep in as I look to shift to the next gear and I look to add another comma to the amount of revenue that's coming in, and amount of profit, and to do that next thing and have even greater impact and to travel to more places. And Ray and I were doing these events, and we have more and more people signing up, and we get paid more and more money to do it. I have that doubt creep in, thinking, man, is this, like, do I really have what it takes? But I lean into it. And with the help of Ray and the help of other mentors and people in our life, they remind me that I do have what it takes, and to trust the process and to lean into the discomfort, because it's there that we're going to find growth. And I don't feel that there's enough people leaning into the discomfort, into the adversity that life offers, looking for the growth. And if more people look for growth on the other side of adversity, that is where passion is found.
Yeah. And no. And let me tell you what, guys, if you're listening here, what he just said is powerful. If you don't have doubt, if you don't have fear, if you don't self-sabotage, if you're not fucking losing sleep at night, sleeping 3-4 hours, worried about shit, losing money, you ain't a fucking entrepreneur. You're going through life with fucking blinders on, because that's what I was doing. How many times have I called you? Losing money? I've called this guy, man, he's my coach. 2-3 o'clock in the morning, he picks up. Matt, calm down. What you're looking for in a coach, and what you need to do is you need to surround yourself with motherfuckers that will talk you off the ledge, but then will also talk you to the ledge, right? That'll push you and motivate you. And too many of you have too many fucking negative people, places, and things in your life that are holding you back. I had to cut people out of my immediate family. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to get emotional here. But statistics. For every negative person you have in your life, you need 7 positive people to counterbalance that. So if you got 6 friends and one of them are negative, you're fucked. So cut them loose. Stop and listen, all these things that I talked about, the fear, the doubt, the worriedness, the tiredness, the fucking late nights, that's how you grow, baby. That's growth. I talked to this cat last night. How many hours of sleep you get? 4. 4? Fuck. I got 5.5, and I'm making it sound like he got a lot. I sleep less because I want to get up, right? I love what I do. And when you are fulfilled, and listen, someone told me once you should be purpose-driven, not passion-driven. Fuck that. You can be both. I'm doing exactly what I love. I am doing what I'm good at. Motivating, coaching, elevating people to the next level with this cat, and I'm getting paid great money to do it. I am living the fucking dream. Was it easy? No. Do we argue? Yes. Are we ever going to get the formula right? We don't know. But we're going to keep driving and grinding and get it done. And the thing is if a dumb fucking Irish kid from Baltimore can do it and Matt can do it, why the fuck can't you? That's the question, right? So I'm hoping that you take nuggets out of this, especially from Matt, because all I do is curse and yell at you. And then when you do that, man, you start applying the systems and the format to your life, you will see success.
You are that spark.
Dude, you need that spark. Like, Matt, you asked Matt, how can you keep up with me, right? How can he not? That's because, you keep saying that. Like, I went to Matt and asked him to be my coach and do this after having a 4-year friendship. And he's like, listen, if you want that, you're going to have to do this, 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 and this. And that's between us. And I did it, and I came back to him. He goes, all right. And then he started coaching me, and then I started making fucking money. And then he said it, money is freedom. It's a vessel for freedom. Holy shit, wife doesn't work, right? Listen, you know the analogy. I told you this before, man. Motherfucker came to my house. Listen to this story. This is how Matt thinks. Matt came to my house. We were getting ready to do a seminar. And my wife's like, fuck, she starts cleaning the house. He knows my wife, right? So we got a pretty big house. It's not as big as his, fuck you. But it's pretty big. So anyways, he comes there. He's going to take us out to dinner. So my wife's like, she runs by, she gives him a hug. She's like, she's like, what's up? He says, what's wrong? She's like, oh, I was cleaning up and, my knees and back are sore. So Matt and I go in the back deck and we smoke a cigar for a few seconds. And I'm going to tell you this story. This is when I knew Matt was my fucking coach. Now listen to this all the way, because it almost got us into a fist fight. So Matt goes, hey man, do you like when Trish dresses up for you sexy? Thought that was a weird question. Yeah? Yeah, me too. I like it when Chris, I'll go say the full name, does it too. Thought that was odd. He goes, do you like when she gets on her hands and knees and does that thing that she likes to do, you know, like all women do. And I'm, fuck yeah. Yeah, I do. He goes, let me ask you another question. He goes, I want you to relax and think about this. He goes, would you want your wife dressing up and getting her on her hands and knees for another man? And I went, what the fuck did you say to me? He goes, oh, no. I asked you a question, answer me. I'm like, fuck no, I wouldn't. He goes, then why did you have your wife getting on her hands and knees cleaning on the fucking floors for John, the toilet, and a guy, me? I'm like, Matt, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, let's make some money so you get a cleaning lady so you don't have to do that. Kristen has a cleaning lady. He's like, you don't need that shit. Your wife should not, if your wife, listen, I don't care how rude this sounds. Your wife, if she's getting on her hands and knees, it should be for you or because she wants to, not because she has to clean. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to have a cleaning lady in this, but it was that mentality, that frequency. I was like, Matt, that's going to cost me $200 extra a month. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? And like, we almost got into it. Dude, I have a lady that comes every week now. Because that frees up time. See, you guys are seeing the story of the sex. It's freeing up the time because I'm on the road and I want to spend time with my wife and my kids, right? I have someone that cuts the grass now. I have people that do shit for me so that when I am home, right, I guard my time. He calls it time management because he's a businessman. I guard my time. I want to spend as much time with the people that I'm trying to create that generational wealth for, because how many people do it? They bust their ass on the road, they come home and they're still busy. Fuck that, I got 3 phones now, he's got like 5. I got one here, somewhere here, the other ones are turned off. But he got me to that point. I didn't think out of the box 3-dimensional, right? And I'm not gonna, and I love you for that, man. And I'm never gonna fucking do that again. And I'm gonna create the type of generational wealth that's gonna last for me and generations, you know? And what's so great about him is I call him, hey, I got a deal, business deal, yes, no. That's what you're looking for in a coach. Don't tell me what I want to hear, tell me what I need to hear. And I've got more than one business coach. So I just want to make sure you all understand that, right? Like, think big. Think big. Get a good fucking coach that's going to make you think big, because we think too small. Now listen, if you're happy making 60, 70 grand a year and your life's fulfilled, God bless you. God bless you. If you've got everything you want, but if you want to think big, you got to quit the bullshit. You got to start believing in yourself. So I want to make sure I get that point across, because yeah, I did it wrong for so many years. I was doing shit to prove people wrong, met him, and now I'm doing shit to prove people right. And that's what you need to do. You're only in competition with yourself. Don't try to be fucking someone else. I'm never going to be a Sean Whalen, a Tim Grover, fucking Dan Fleshman. What I will be, I'm never going to be a Matt Schneider. But I tell all of them, Wes Watson, I'm coming for all your fucking asses. But I'm doing it being the best version of me I can be. I do it my way, my style, by using their techniques and forms. And I put it into my tool bag of knowledge and wisdom, and I apply it, right? It's like a tool bag. Sometimes I need a Phillips, sometimes I need this. But what I have and what you need to have is you need to have a support system of like-minded human beings that you can call and will call you out on your bullshit. Because people that do that actually love you and they want to see you grow. Don't think if you have an idea and someone says it's fucking stupid, that they're just being a dick. If it's someone that you trust in, right? Someone who's been there and done that. Matt will tell me, dude, I invested in that 2 years ago and lost fucking $200,000. Thank you. Well, what should I fucking invest in? And then he'll tell me. So that's what you need to do. And if you're only going to make one investment, one fucking investment in your life, invest in yourself.
And Matt, anything
Top that, bitch.
Anything else to close out the podcast
Coach?
for today?
Look, I learned a lot of things along the way, and I still continue to learn every single day. I think that's a really important part of this whole deal is being the kind of person that has a CEO mindset, but a white belt mentality. Somebody who's always hungry to learn, always realizes there's far more that we don't know than we ever will. There's that saying that if you want to go far, go by yourself. If you want to go fast, go with others, or however the shit you say it. And I disagree with it. I don't even know exactly how to say it because I disagree with it.
You ruined it, whatever it was.
Yeah. What was it when Bush is like, shame on me if you do it once, and shame, like, he totally botched the whole thing.
Yeah.
But because you can do both, like go fast and far with other people. That is the mindset that I have. We have multiple really thriving companies, and that's because of the people that are helping build those companies, and the people that are are fully bought into the mission and the vision of what we're doing, and never losing sight of the fact that together we are far more powerful than we are alone. You know, part of being hungry and humble is realizing that if you surround yourself with the right people, there are others who have the answers right there at your disposal that will help you solve your biggest challenges. If you're willing to surround yourself, do the work to get into the rooms, to surround yourself with the right people, those people have the answers to help you solve your biggest challenges, help create the most amount of opportunity, and launch your life in the most exciting directions while collapsing time to get to where you're wanting to go. You just have to get into the rooms and you have to ask the questions. And don't think that you need to navigate this world trying to figure out all this shit by yourself, because you're not going to be able to. And there might be, you're going to be able to sort it out one way or the other, but not to the extent of reaching your fullest potential, and not to the extent of having the kind of opportunities to create impact and a legacy and this massive footprint on this world in the most positive ways. So, dude, I mean, the people are there, and I think that's really one of the things that is most problematic. Is they hang around the wrong people. You're hanging around the wrong people. You're hanging around people who are detractors, people who pull you away from your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, and people that do not do their part to help you become a better version of yourself. And as a result of that, you are neutering your potential. And people who are expanders, people who are big dreamers and big doers, they do not hang around others who hang around detractors. If you are hanging around people who are 4, 5s, and 6s, do not expect the 8, 9s, and 10s to want to enter the room with you or allow for you to enter their room. That's just not the way it works. You've got to earn your seat at the table. If you want to be somebody who's learning and growing and achieving with 8, 9s, and 10s, you've got to become an 8, 9, 10. And I'll tell you this much: an 8, 9, and 10 will invest in a 4, 5, or 6. I'm not going to invest in somebody who's a 1, 2, or 3. They need too much work. But a 4, 5, or 6, if you've been doing the work for a little while, if you've got a good foundation and you're wanting to improve and get to a higher level, if you're teachable, if you're hungry, you're humble, you default to personal development, action, and execution, 8, 9s, and 10s will invest in you, and they will help you get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Wow, it's powerful stuff. So before we close out on the podcast, I want you guys to introduce, the Q program a little bit more, and where people could find it. It's an amazing program, and I want more people to have access to it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, the Q course comes, as Ray said, from Quit, right? So Ray and I are traveling the country, working with all kinds of really exciting companies and their teams on becoming a better version of themselves and being able to bring their fullest potential to the company every single day, to their roles and responsibilities every single day. And we've got a few different variations of this. We have the in-person that we're about to do. We're going to leave here. We've got an in-person in Baltimore today, and then there's also the element where we do the ongoing coaching, where Ray does the mindset stuff, I do the business stuff. Together and collectively, people are just smashing records and achieving things that, they did not think was possible. Things that they thought were silly goals, borderline impossible, are things that are now the reality. And so, what do you got for it?
Yeah, so, like I said, we're doing just, it's kind of like we have a package. So, Matt, with his, he's so articulated, land and expand. So a lot of times what we're doing is, Matt and I are both keynote speakers. We've opened up for some of the biggest people, and we've had some big stages, but we come in, we talk, so we're doing speaking. Obviously the coaching that we're doing, Matt focuses on the business that he does solo. I'm doing the mindset. I try to do it with a package with him. And then obviously we talked about the Q course, which Matt really hit on, but we're also starting to incorporate, like we're going over to companies when we do the Q course too, and we want to implement fitness into that. So, getting up, working out like we did this morning, we try to do hands-on experience. There's 4 pillars of success that Matt and I focus on: teamwork, problem solving, leadership, and communication. And what's so unique about our program is we do hands-on training, right? Like if I have to listen to another, statistic or graph or pie or a chart, I'm going to lose my mind. We're getting there in the trenches with the individuals, showing them pretty much how deficient they are in these things. And then we have systems that we put in place for them to get better. We're traveling and it's catching on like wildfire because there are still a lot of great people out there that want to do more, be more, and achieve more. And, when you have subject matter experts, SMEs come in, that's what we do. And why we're so different is we're in the trenches with them, right? Leaders do 3 things: they tell, show, and do. And that's what we're doing. We're not sitting back, beating our chest, telling you how much money we make. We're showing you how we did it. And we're giving you I'm giving you the internal tools to attack it, to be the best version of you. And then what he's doing is giving you the systems and the interfaces, I guess, if you will, to make my favorite, the zeros and the commas. They're my favorite things now. So that's what we are. That's what we're doing. And we're all about building relationships and just taking this, like I said, U.S. is one thing. I want this global. We're going to do this global. And we're building our team and we're building our soldiers, and we're coming.
Well, this concludes our podcast for today. Thank you guys for being part of it. And where can they find you?
Instagram, Matt_Schneider_official, and same for LinkedIn.
Yeah, me. RayCashCare.com is my official site, and at RayCashCare Instagram. Pretty much LinkedIn, RayCashCare. Pretty simple. That's how you can find me.
All right, guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and follow them on their journey. Crazy stuff about to happen.